Hello. I'm just finishing my fast today. Enjoying watermelon. Delicious. It's been really amazing to have so much more connections with people about health and healing since I've gone much deeper into my journey. And I am beginning to see that so many people share the same fears that I had as well about fasting and changing my diet. And I think that so many of us, we are doing our very best in this life and we've got a lot of good stuff going on, but we have health that's not so great and we know we need to make changes, but it just all seems so overwhelming sometimes. So I just wanted to talk about my preparation for my fast. And for me, I think most of that preparation was actually on the emotional plane. When I was just beginning to ground down and accept that I need to clean my body out, knowing I needed to do it, but the fear of fast was so huge. So I said, okay, I know I'm going to do a fast at some point, but I'm not going to set a date. I'm just going to plant the seed and it will happen when I'm ready. So that just really both took kind of a bit of the fear out of it, but it also let a kind of flow of energy towards the want to fast be in motion and a commitment to it, just on a very gentle commitment to it. So I do believe that a lot of the fears and pains and woundings we hold is actually in our body, and a lot of it is in the toxicity in our body itself. So the more we clean our body, actually the less shit is floating around our minds. So for about 3 months, I just slowly changed my diet, slowly. I wasn't eating any processed foods or packaged things, but I moved more onto fruit and raw food. And I already felt the cleansing starting in my system by just the diet change. And I already felt emotions coming up by just that. And I think it was really beautiful to take it slow and just work with what's coming up with just that. I felt like my gut and my body acknowledged that I planted the seed that I was going to fast, and I was committed to this. I just didn't say when it was going to happen. And I had 3 or 4 times during this period of just preparing for the fast, just changing my diet, that something huge came up. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know something was coming up. I was just feeling like I was just all kind of scattery and eating bits of toast and cups of tea and just all over the place, flighty, until I would realize, oh wait, there's emotion coming up, there's something coming up there. And it was so strong. It had no imagery, it had no story, and these times I had to just curl up and cover myself with a blanket until it passed. But I began to view this as, wow, this is my gut and this is my body already releasing emotion just from me committing that I'm going to clean my body. Just that thought alone, the work was happening. So I think this is really important, to take it slowly and make the emotions, the emotional part, so important. It did eventually happen that my fears to fast were gone, and they were replaced much more with this, okay, I'm ready to start. And that's really the point when you move into anything, when you're just so 100% ready. And we'll see how the integration back into food goes, how the eating goes. I feel that just letting those emotions be there and taking months to prepare for this is going to be really helpful in what unfolds in the next few weeks. The other thing that was coming up for me was worrying if I changed my diet, about feeling lightheaded and headachy and sick and not able to get through my days. And this can happen, and I think this is why it's really important to take it slowly. Just take it slowly. The very first time I did a fast many years ago, it was a 1-day fast, and I remember by 11 o'clock that morning my body was so overwhelmed by the fast. I had to go to bed, and I was just so uncomfortable, headaches, nausea. It was like some kind of like psychedelic journey. I don't remember. I was like in and out of sleep. And I woke up a fair few hours later and I felt amazing. And I remember then I was working in the forest, building forest tracks for hours and hours after. So that was my first fast. My second fast was a 10-day fast on juices. And I remember also for about the first 3 or 4 days feeling really hungover, and I had to be in bed for a lot of the days. But by the 5th day, I had entered the honeymoon stage, and I also did one more fast in the past, and that was something similar. With this one, I think because I've did a lot of preparation, I felt a little bit tired and a little bit like, oh, I'm hungry, oh wait, I'm fasting, for the first few days, but it was really very easeful. So yeah, if our bodies are toxic, we are not going to feel so good, but it doesn't mean that you have to just dive straight into a fast. We have to just do what we're able to do without really in a forceful way. Just share to your friends and family what you're doing, feel supported, and make it important. Make it important. If you're doing a 1-day fast, just make sure that you can be in bed for the day if you can. 'Cause, I don't know, I always prioritize other things over my health, but it's changing. So yeah, during this fast I didn't have any lightheadedness or dizziness or any weakness. I think it's because on this fast I was drinking dark grape juice with lemon, and that gave me a lot of energy. Yeah, a lot of energy. It was really wonderful. I'll go into more details about the fast details later, but I just wanted to stay with the emotional stuff. The other thing is, a few friends have just been sharing this sense of like, oh, I must have great discipline to do such a long fast. This one was 21 days. And I don't really associate myself with having discipline, really. Like, I've never been able to stick to any diet, any exercise routine. Nah. What I think it is that when our suffering reaches a point where it just reaches a point, we need answers, we need to change, and we are just so open to it. That's what drives me. That's what's been driving me. It hasn't been a discipline. It's just been I need to live this life. I know I'm incredible, and I need a healthy vehicle to carry my soul in this life. So that was definitely my driving force. And I've been finding the more I've been cleaning my body, and as this beautiful woman who's very, very helpful for me at the moment, her name is Alexandra Schwen. She always says the more shit we get out of our body, the more shit is out of our mind. And slowly, like, we don't have to solve everything about our diet we just need to take it a little by little, because the more that leaves this body physically, the less we are burdened with those heavier vibrations. They just go. They just go. So on the thought of, oh, if I'm fasting or changing my diet, then I can't do all these lovely dinners with friends and social gatherings with food, and oh, I just love my comforts and my food and everything. And yeah, it's okay, but I certainly do too. But I think that that's okay. But if it's bothering you, your physical state, and it's bothering you enough every day that you're feeling uncomfortable with it, then it's got to be important to make a change. So when I am in chapters of comfort from food and coffee and things like this, it's okay, but I'm forgetting who I really am. And it's just an energy shift, an energetic shift. And as we move to foods that have more life force in them, and our bodies become full with more life force, we remember who we are more and more. And I was thinking for like a little while, there is that transition of the mind between, oh, but I love my chocolate, and this kind of thing, to like, oh, not mangoes again. But then I really remember one day realizing, oh my God, there's so much on this other side. There's so much on the lighter side of life that, wow, like the little sensitivities. Oh, and how just every breath and every sight is just so much more beautiful, and the clarity of the mind, the clarity, it just puts everything into perspective. So that's my little rant on the emotional side of things. I'm still grounding myself today into getting back into eating again, and yeah, the fasting has definitely brought a lot of silence to my mind, so it's a little bit hard to find the words at times. But definitely love to hear your feedback on like emotions that you go through with changing your diet or with food, and I just think it's really good to be together with this and to share it. And I'm so deeply grateful, as I said the last time, that I got sick, and I'm so deeply grateful for my path, my extremely self-destructive drink, druggy, party, chapter, bad food. Wow, because all of our things have made us who we are now, and they are all the drivers for our suffering to reach a point where we go, whoa, I have a very important role to play out in this life, and I need to live this out for the greater good of this earth and myself and everyone around me. So with so much love, sending the message again to live your nectar, and I'll just get back to my watermelon and see you soon.